In modern contract law, when a corporation makes a specific, verifiable promise to the public, they are legally bound to honor it through a mechanism called the unilateral contract. This standard was established by the 1892 case of Carlill versus the Carbolic Smokeball Company, a ruling that drew a hard legal line between exaggerated marketing claims, known as puffery, and enforceable agreements. Because of this single court decision, any quantifiable reward or guarantee offered by a business today is treated as a binding legal contract. Between 1889 and 1893, the Russian flu pandemic swept across Europe in annual waves, bringing major cities and commerce to a complete standstill. The disease caused mass panic because of its indiscriminate lethality, striking down the physically fit and the upper classes, eventually claiming the life of Prince Albert Victor, the future King of England. The medical profession had no understanding of what caused the disease or how it spread. Desperate doctors prescribed unproven preventative measures, like drinking massive quantities of champagne or stuffing cotton up the nostrils. The combination of high public terror and zero scientific consensus created a highly lucrative vacuum for patent medicine vendors to exploit. The Carbolic Smokeball Company entered this market with a hollow rubber device designed to disperse a pungent cloud of carbolic acid powder directly into the user's nose. This bar chart shows the company's monthly sales data, illustrating how effectively they capitalized on the mounting panic. Sales jumped from a steady 300 units per month in the summer of 1890 to 1,500 units by January 1891. To drive sales even higher, they published an advertisement in November 1892, offering a £100 reward to any customer who contracted influenza after using the smokeball exactly as directed. The advertisement concluded with a crucial detail, stating that £1,000 had been deposited at the Alliance Bank in London to prove their sincerity in the matter. By explicitly stating they had verifiable financial backing, the company elevated the advertisement from a standard marketing pitch into a specific, quantifiable offer. A consumer named Louisa Carlill purchased the device and diligently followed the daily instructions for 2 months. She caught the flu anyway, prompting her solicitor husband to write the company and demand the £100 reward. The company ignored the request, and the dispute finally went to court. The company refused to pay, arguing their primary defense: the advertisement was mere puffery, and no reasonable person would interpret it as a literal contract. As a secondary defense, their lawyers claimed no valid contract existed because Carlill had never formally communicated her acceptance of their offer back to the company. The judges rejected both arguments. They ruled that the specific mention of the £1,000 ink deposit proved the company's literal intent to pay, which completely nullified the puffery defense. This logic flowchart illustrates the second half of the ruling. The court determined that in specific cases, simply performing the conditions of an offer directly bridges to contractual acceptance, bypassing the need for mutual communication. Louisa Carlill's physical performance of the printed instructions was legally sufficient to bind the company, cementing the mechanism of the unilateral contract. The Carbolic Smokeball ruling remains a foundational pillar of modern contract law, ensuring that companies are held strictly liable for the specific, quantifiable promises they make to consumers. This video is brought to you by the IELTS FOCUS Zalo 0847705973, an English center specializing in IELTS preparation.